Hey, happy Wednesday, y'all. Welcome to Mission for Mental Health. I'm your host, Jackie Robinson. Y'all just don't know how much I look forward to these days with y'all. Like, I enjoy these days with y'all. I have such a great time. And I love when I get a guest so we gonna talk about mental health, y'all. We gonna talk about mental health. But when your guest got a different spin on mental health, I I love getting those too. Like, y'all, we're gonna talk about sex today. Let's talk about sex, baby. That's what we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about sex today. Woo! When I tell y'all I got somebody for y'all today, when I tell y'all I got y'all somebody, when I tell you she a lot, y'all think I'm a live wire. Matter of fact, let me just don't bring it to the stage because I don't even want to take up all her time talking about me. I want to come on. Y'all make sure y'all show her some love and give her some support, some hand claps and all that good stuff. Cause she gonna talk about sex, baby. She gonna talk about sex, baby. Hold on. Here she comes. Here she comes. Let me bring her to the stage. She backstage. Y'all. She ready to. Let me look at her right quick. Yeah, she's smiling. She ready. Hold on. Here she comes. Bam. There she is.
Hey,
What's up, pleasure, Coach Diamond? How are you? How are
I
you?
am great. How are you doing tonight?
I love those earrings.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do
Key to
they have
life.
any particular meaning, a key to something?
Just key to life, to
Key
living
to
the best life. That's
key
what
to
it's for.
living your best life.
That's
You need to
right.
get me a pair of them then. Give me a little pair
Mhm.
of those. How's everything?
Everything is going well. Everything is going well. Just out
Well,
here living life.
yes. Well, welcome to Mission for Mental Health.
Thank you for having me.
I'm girl, I'm so glad that you said yes. I can't wait to talk about you. I was gonna pull up your bio and I was supposed to already have it up, but you know how like you easily get distracted when you get home from work with everything but what you planned on doing and stuff.
Exactly.
So I had one of those days at work today that took up more of my time than what I expected it to take.
I understand.
So it
Totally
dipped into
understand.
my time and when I'm supposed to be getting ready for you. When you sent me your bio, you emailed it to me, correct? Or did you text it to me? I
I think I emailed it to you.
think you
I
emailed it to
emailed
me.
it. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I gotta find it. But while I'm looking for that, um, you know what? I'm gonna find it in a little bit, and I'm gonna let you just talk about you. How about that? That way, I ain't taking up no time. So let's start with this. I've been telling everybody we talking about sex, baby.
Right.
We
That's
go
right.
at it, right? And
Hmm.
so that's what I've been singing. That's what I've been promoting all week about. We talk
Okay.
about sex. So
Okay.
before we get started, tell our viewers a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about you.
Okay. My name is Pleasure Coach Diamond. Um, I've been doing, I'm a certified sexologist. I'm a certified love and relationship and intimacy coach. So I'm here just to bring all the pleasure back into your life. But guess what? I have a new spin on my business now.
That's what I'm
So
talking about.
I'm also working with women of a certain age. And so
Okay.
what I mean about women with a certain age, it's the women who are going through those hot flashes. It's the women that are going through the brain fog. It's the women whose bodies just say, you know what, I'm not working anymore. So those are the women that I'm trying to attract and pull because guess what? We're still amazing after this age. 40s,
Absolutely.
50s. I'm 53. I say my age. I'm,
I
I'm
say mine
excited.
too.
I'm excited about being 53 because some
Me
people
too.
didn't live this long. Amen. So
Me
I just
too.
work with women on just trying to get their groove back, just trying to get their sex life back because that's a hard period in a woman's life is when she's going through this menopause, and men
Mhm.
don't understand until
They
they start
show.
going through menopause. They
Right.
have a male version, so until
So
they start going through that.
yep. So let me ask you this. What made you get started into even wanting to be a sexologist? Like what made you say, you know what, I think I want this to be my career or my extra job or whatever it is for you? What made you decide to get into this line of work?
Honestly, I was just that friend who's they would call when you have that anniversary or you have that special date that you're trying to get with or this dude that you're trying to hang out with. So I was the one that would help them and say, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. And so I was like, I'm giving all of this advice. So then, my king came along, so I was like, you know what? This is what it's supposed to be about. This is how it was supposed to be. So I was like, you know what? If I can feel like this at my age, why can't everybody feel like this? And you have women that don't want it anymore, they don't feel attractive anymore, things like that. I said, you know what? No, I want to talk about it. So my husband was like, you know what? You've been talking about this for a long time, so you may as well do it. And just so happened, I was online on Facebook, and I give a shout out to my coach. She's my coach. She's my teacher. Her name is Sexologist E. Michelle, and she has her own home school, Pleasure Masters Institute. So I went there. Everything was online. Learned a lot of new stuff that I didn't know about because I was the old one in the bunch. So that's how I got the women of a certain age, because I was older than everybody. So I was like, you know what? Why am I this age learning this at this age when I should have been knowing it in my 20s where I was wild and free?
So for example,
I'm just gonna be honest, orgasms. Nobody taught me how to orgasm. Nobody taught me masturbation. Nobody taught me all of that. So I had to learn that on my own. At least I thought I did. At least I thought I knew what it was until I actually learned how to experience it. And once I learned it, I said, you know what? I got to teach everybody how to do this one, because a lot of people don't know their bodies, especially women.
Right.
We don't know how to ask for what we want.
So it's more of, because get out of here, little girl. This is a grown folk conversation.
She can hear too. She might want to get in on it too.
Not yet. Go on. I'm on the podcast. You see what I'm saying? Close my door, please.
Can't never be alone. It's hard. I get you.
Now look, she don't come in on any other show. She heard sex. She like,
look.
Talk about.
They have the same parts we have.
Look at that. Look at my girlfriend talking about not yet. Like not
yet. Okay, not yet. All right.
Talking about bye London. Exactly, bye. So let me ask you this. Let's talk about orgasms, because I mean, I've been having orgasms since I was like 18 years old. Oh, I told it 17, 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But is there a difference when you are 17 and 18 having an orgasm? Because what's the difference?
I think there is a difference. I'm not saying that a 17 or 18-year-old cannot have an explosive orgasm. They can. I just think that once you are more mature in it and you know a little bit, you can tell the guy what you want. Because most girls think they have an orgasm. These guys are working hard and saying, okay, you'll feel a little tingle. It's okay to feel a tingle. That's okay. But it may not be that explosion that you really want. And there's so many different types of orgasms you can have. It's not just vaginally penetration. Because look,
it's different types.
Yes. Oh, a lot of types.
But I've been doing this all the time, and it's different types.
Oh, you'll be blown away about all different types of orgasms. You can have what we call a coregasm.
A
coregasm.
What is that? That ain't with more than one person. What is that? What's a coregasm?
No, actually, when you exercise.
Oh, working
your core, and that can just.
Child, we need to have a party.
We do. I'm here for parties. Anybody want a party? They go my email, my website address. Let me know, because I can come teach y'all some stuff. Me and my friend over here, Madam Pousse.
What you call her?
Madam Pousse. You can come and hang with us too. I can teach you about that. But like a lot of girls don't know their bodies. And I think at that age, they don't know how to really ask for what they want, because they're using sex. Okay, he likes me. That's my man. That's what I'm supposed to do.
That's what I'm supposed
to do. And they haven't really been taught proper things. I have 2 daughters who are on here now. I'm sure they're going to tap in. Both of my girls are on here, and they are, when I say sick of me, because I'm like, you all are young. You're 23. You have a lifetime to know your body. So I actually bought them a little kit, and I made them. I said, this is what it is. And they had some little things in there for them to experience their own. And once they experience their own, they know what to tell the guys.
Yeah.
So this is what I want. This is right here.
So when it comes to exploring your body, like where do you begin? Like how do you even start that? Where do you even start with learning how to explore your body?
I'm just going to be honest. Hey, Miss Meadows. I'm sorry. You better go here saying hi.
Hey, baby mama.
Yeah, she's the real baby mama. We co-parent our baby, so she's my wife-in-law.
Yeah.
So, but basically, let me just tell you about my story real fast. Okay. I didn't know how to explore my body, especially when I was younger. Hey, baby, when I was younger, because I grew up in the church. So, and we're not going to talk about religion too much because I know that, we're going to have the Christians coming here trying to fight me, but it's okay. It's okay. But you grow up in the church, you have those shadows, you have, oh my gosh, how am I going to feel? How am I going to look? Is God going to see me like this? You have all these questions in your head.
Right.
So I said, you know what? After I got older, excuse me, I'm sorry. I started thinking about stuff and I was like, it's okay to touch yourself because it's yours. And just to be honest, the Bible thumpers want to talk about it. And I'm a Christian, so I'm not an atheist. I believe in God. I grew up in the church. He's my Lord and Savior, as everybody says, but how you do that with sex. But God, and I'm going to show you this a little thing. God made this. Excuse me. And that's the only thing on your body that he made for pleasure. You know what this is?
Is that supposed to be a clitoris?
Mm-hmm. This is the only part that you see. The rest of it is behind your vaginal walls. So that's the only thing in your body that he has made for pleasure. So you should be able to pleasure and touch yourself. I do it. My baby said she loves her kid. I gave her a kid. So, but it's just embodiment. So you just go and you can just touch whatever feels good to you. You can caress, you can touch, you can however hard you want to touch, however soft you want to touch. Have yourself a bubble bath. Have your candles. Have your music going. Just make your scene for yourself and just be able to just touch yourself. And then you can have, add toys if you'd like to do that. That helps a lot.
How did you,
said, oh Lord, I'm trying to help him too.
How did you get in a position where you felt so comfortable talking about sex and talking about organ, especially even with your kids? Like, how did you get in a position where you were so comfortable having that kind of conversation? Like, you see, I kicked mine out, like it was taboo. Get out of here, man, get out of here, get your ass out of here. I made it seem like it was so taboo, and it's really not, because God gave her that same part he gave me, So how did you get to where you were comfortable having that kind of conversation?
And I'm glad you brought up the word taboo, because sex is so taboo. Sex and pleasure has always been a taboo subject, but everybody was doing it. You just to tell your business.
Oh yeah, everybody doing it.
Everybody was doing it just to tell your business. Honestly, I came from a family of women. My mom it was 8 of them. And out of the 8, it was 5 girls. So I grew up around women. I heard about it. I was the oldest grandchild or whatever. And I've heard everything around them and what they did and what was good and what wasn't good and things like that. So I was openly able to talk about sex just with certain people. So now I'm just like, you know what? This is what I do. I'm going to say what I have to say. Only if it's elicited. I'm not going to just come talk to you and say, let me tell you about your body. But I will talk to other people about it if they want to learn. That's all. They want to learn. Beauty shop is the best place. That's my best place is the beauty shop.
And just like the barbershop, that is where we have all of our conversations about men. My hairstylist, she's on here now. She's my hairstylist / sister. She's on here. That's where we have all of our conversation. But the thing is, we're having a conversation, but I don't know if we're getting proper advice or giving proper advice. We just saying what we think. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm just gonna tell you the truth. A lot of the things that I talk about, and I've learned a lot, but a lot of the things that I've talk about is from experience too. So like I'm a menopausal woman. I'm full-fledged in menopause. I've been there, done it. My kids, my husband were ready to put me out. And that's kind of where the mental health part goes in that I was thinking about, because during that time, I remember myself having a really hard time mentally, especially when I first started going through it. Because, you feel sad, then you're happy, and then you're hot, and then you're cold. Then your body stops working. Then you may dry out, and then you may have a period. Then all of a sudden it's gone for a few months, and it might show back up. So you got all of these things going on. So my doctor told me, you know what, you're just depressed. So here's some medicine.
I gotta put this up here. This must be your husband. Full-fledged menopause.
That is my baby mama. I am a full-fledged menopause. I am. And she probably is too. And it's no joke. It is no joke. And men don't understand, you have these women, when we say we don't want to have it. Oh, that's the ex-husband on here.
Oh, that's your ex-husband. That's too funny. Look, so
we got a family on here, huh?
It is so funny because Fred texting out, send me the link.
Yeah, tell him come on in, Freddie P. Tell Freddie P come on in with
let me go and send him the link right quick,
me.
y'all.
He needs to learn a little bit something. So then,
Let me
when
go
a
on and
woman
let me go and
of
send
a
it. Y'all
certain age, when a woman of a certain age decides that she's not feeling or she's not in the mood, it's not because she's not desiring you or she doesn't want you. It's just those hormones are just going everywhere. They are.
yeah.
So
It's very, very. Oh, okay. We got another sexologist, E. Michelle,
that's my teacher. She's my coach.
ABS-ACS. I don't know what that
Yeah.
means, but ABS.
American Board of Sexology and um, American Board of Sexology is ABS.
She gonna put
And
it on. She gonna put it in chat because
uh-huh.
we ain't gonna mess up her title. She gonna. You know how we do. She gonna put it in chat because we're not
She's
gonna
the
mess
one
up.
that taught me everything I know. So when I tell you they're thebomb.com, so I know a lot because of them. But it's American Board of Sexology, and that's what we're ABS certified.
You know, this menopause thing is for real.
Ooh.
Like, and my mother is my mother and my siblings are, my mother's 88. She just turned 88 Sunday.
Okay.
And my siblings are in their 70s.
Oh.
So we ain't having them kind of conversations, right? So we wasn't doing that at home. So I
Mhm.
didn't know. He talking about I was already on here. That boy. I didn't know much about menopause except for just hearing women talking about, oh, I'm hot. Oh, and they walking around, like they boots on the ground, fanning and carrying on. Where the fans at?
My mom said, I'm going through the change. I'm going through the change. I'm like, Jesus, how long is the change going to be?
Yes.
When the change is going to come, I need it to come soon. Because all of our lives.
Yes.
That's what it was.
And so I really didn't know how horrible this thing can be and how I'm not going to say horrible because I'm not even really horrible, but I didn't really realize how life-changing it is when you start going through this and all the things that my body is experiencing and going through. And I'm glad I do have somebody who's a little bit understanding. I told him, go ask your daddy and tell him about your mama. That's how you want to know.
They didn't even teach us about that either. We just heard going through the change. That's all.
So it's kind of like I wasn't I wasn't anticipating what I'm going through. I was not anticipating this, and I was not. It's especially, I don't have no huge sex problem, but it's a problem.
It is.
It's only not a problem because I got somebody who's not making it a problem. But I'm sure he's bothered by, my drive is like, phew.
But you know what? But that's a good thing. If you don't think he's bothered, I've been blessed because my husband is like, American College of Sexologists is what you say, American College of Sexologists. But what you have to have an understanding partner that you can communicate with. That's the big key. If whatever you partnered, you have to have somebody who understands you. And so it's so silly. So what happened was my husband actually went to the doctor with me. He went to the GYN with me. And he's been to my appointments with me. And he's like, because this all happened right when I got married. We've been married almost 8 years now. And I was like, why am I going through it 47, 48? Why is my body messing up like this? Why am I not having the desire? Why am I not having the drive anymore? So what ended up happening was I went to the doctor, you know what? And as women, we don't know. Ask your gynecologist for a full hormone panel. They won't tell you if you don't ask. Oh, okay. Yes.
So ask for a full hormonal panel. What comes in that panel?
I mean, they'll test your estrogen, your free testosterone, all of that. And a lot of women don't know that we need testosterone to tick. Some people say, you know what, if we're going through the menopause, it's your estrogen. It's your estrogen. It's your estrogen. Right. It may not be estrogen all the time. Mine wasn't. Mine was my testosterone.
Whoa.
So at that age, 47, 48, I think my number should have been like a 35. Mine was a 12.
Oh. But when
So,
you add more testosterone, don't you have to worry about hair growth and all
oh
that?
yeah. Oh, we're not going to talk about the hair.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about the hair growth. I
You
have an
didn't-
understanding and a loving husband that I'm never divorcing because
Yeah.
he helps me through that part. But my thing is either you figure out what you're gonna do with the hair or have sex. And I love my husband, so we finna just rumble, with some razors and shave it off, but do what I
Right
gotta
now,
do.
I got a whole beard coming in up under here.
Both of us. He understands. He understands. So he knows he's not kissing a man, so he's good.
I got
But
a
no, so
whole.
I ended up getting what the hormone replacement therapy, which is it's BioT. It's BioT. And I'm on another one now. I think she just switched my brand, but it's the same thing. So I get pellets every 3 months. So it's a pellet of a testosterone and of a estrogen.
So we were talking about that the other day about
Mhm.
the pellets. Now, what you said make you feel like you a kid again? Not a kid, but
When I tell you, and I think my friend, that's my aunt. I tell you, my friend is. I blame her all the time. She's my coworker. Shout out to Bianca. She's my coworker. She said, you know what? Go to my gynecologist. She'll do everything for you. So I
Mhm.
go and I go to and so I go to the doctor. She tests my hormones. She said, okay, it's 35. I mean, it's supposed to be 35. You're 12. So it's a pellet where they cut you slightly. They just put a little lanacane on it. Is it lanacane?
Cut it where down there?
No, no. Oh no, not the cooch. No.
Oh, so what it
It's
cut you?
it's on your upper hip area.
Okay.
Upper hip, top buttocks area,
Okay.
wherever the fat meat is. So I got a lot of fat meat back there. So I got a lot of cuts. So basically, they just make a small incision and then they just stick the pellets up under your skin. So they just go into your bloodstream from there.
Okay.
So when you first get it, when I first got my hormones, yeah, it makes the thing per for real though. So when I first got it, it just shot my testosterone. It shot my hormones straight up. So it missed the middle part. It missed the let me be calm. It went back to when I was 15. So my husband was like, I'm back. Yeah, that's what you said you wanted. I'm here. I'm doing this thing with you. So he was able to, I guess, deal with it after a while. So what happens is after a certain time, they'll adjust your dosage to where it's just even kill. But it was bad. It was bad when I first got it. Because
So does it mess with your estrogen levels at all, or
it
does
doesn't
does it mess with your hormones at all?
it replaces the hormones that you're missing because as you go into menopause, all of those things tend to decline.
So
Oh,
that's why you need the hormone test done to see which
Mhm.
hormones you're missing. So
Mhm.
get these pellets, and these pellets
Mhm.
can replace the hormones that's missing and balance you back out. Get rid of your beard. Just get rid of the beard.
So it's gonna make the beard start because you get the testosterone. So you just have to find your good laser technician
So you
or,
just got to
or,
decide.
or my esthetician is on here too. So she's done all of it. She's waxed everything for me. So she knows how the pellets work. But that's just one option. That's one option. Everybody doesn't, want to go through that. And plus you have to have somebody who's actually certified and trained in it.
Yeah.
So but I go every 3 months. It's not cheap. Insurance does not cover it. So it's about $400 every 3 months. But I had to do what I had to do to keep my marriage alive and spicy.
Absolutely. I had lost my train of thought when you talked about the fee. You threw me off.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap, and men can get them also. So if their testosterone is declining, they can do it for men too.
Is this something is this a forever thing?
It's gonna be forever in my book until they say I can't take it no more. Till I'm on my walker, in my wheelchair, and then my husband said we're gonna roll together when we in our wheelchairs too. So we're gonna do that together. But for right now, yes, it's a forever thing for right now.
Well,
But
when is on here, I'm sure he's gonna chime in and say that get the pellets.
Oh yeah, he loves the pellets. Yeah, he good for that.
It is going out. I don't care if you got to go out there and DoorDash, Uber, whatever you need to do. Get that $400 up and get that thing done.
Look, it's called health savings account. It's cool. The health spending, the flexible spending. That's what we do.
The flex spending account. Save that money up in there and use that.
That's my self-care. Because like I said, at this age, what other pleasures in life do we have? Our kids are grown. We're wrapping up our work time. We're wrapping up our work time. He's home now, so he's on here messing with me. So we wrapping up our work time. I'm about to retire and stuff, and my husband and I like to travel. I'm like, let's do this, and we're not going to be, like I said, another reason why I started doing women of a certain age, because at this age, some women like, you know what, I'm done. I done had enough men in my lifetime, and you shouldn't be. You're still young in your 50s.
So yeah, so let's talk about these the women of a certain age. What age group are you targeting?
Menopausal age. It can start as young as 35.
Starting in your 30s.
Yeah. So from your late 30s all the way up to however age, till Jesus takes you home. I'm just want to know that we're still sexy. We're still fine after 50. We're still fine after 40. We still have an ageless allure. We're ageless, especially us. We're very ageless.
What's your oldest client's age? What are we looking at?
I think they're menopausal age, probably my age, 50s.
50s?
Mm-hmm.
No 60s, no 70s?
Not yet, because you know what? They don't really want. Some of them want to talk about it, but a lot of them don't. So I've had some of the ladies in the beauty shop, of course, they want to chime in because they didn't know what their bodies were, and that's another shame. Nobody talked to people about what their body. But women, we just heard that it was a pocketbook. It was this, but it was never something that was talked about as far as this is what it is.
No, at all. Yeah. And talk. Look at this fool.
All right, Freddie P. That's what I'm talking about. He said he gonna pay for it. I got a doctor for you.
And perimenopause.
Perimenopause starts in your 30s, in your late 30s into your 40s. And then I actually went into full menopause, and that means when you have no cycle for 12 months.
Right. No cycle
for 365 days.
Yeah. So if you go 10 months and have a cycle, you're not in menopause. Start all over again. So I'm at that stage too. I'm in my second year of I'm in the pause. The pause has come upon me.
She's life here. Has a life ended for you?
She's here. And she does mess with my self-esteem sometimes too. She messes with, because I'm trying to lose weight. So she messes with my fat when I'm trying to get it off. She messes with my appetite. She messes with my emotions. I've never been a crier. I've always been it is what it is. Suck it up. Keep pushing. My favorite line. It is what it is. Keep pushing. And now it's.
I know.
I cry. You could just look at me funny. I'm like, oh, God.
You don't know why. And you don't know why.
She's messing with my emotions.
Yes.
She's messing with my thinking. She's messing with my sleep. She's messing with my body temperature. She's she's just fucking with me.
Period. Period. Like, leave me the hell alone. Period. So basically, with all of that, that's what we go through. And I just want men to understand that too, because I try to talk to men, I talk to couples too. It's like the woman is just not wanting to have sex. This is some actual real stuff that you're going through in your body. It is, and it would drive you crazy. The brain fog was unreal for me, and the biggest thing that messed me up mentally was when my body stopped working. I mean, my body has failed me.
What you mean?
When the lubrication is not as much as it used to be. So of course you want to find different products, and I have products. I have some good products that y'all want to use back here. But even with that, your self-esteem gets in the way. It's like, you know what? I want to be able to be natural. I want to be able to do what a woman does. That's like telling a woman she can't have a baby. And it's like those are natural progressions of a woman. We're supposed to be with our man. We're supposed to be loving and passionate and and things like that. And then that messes up. So it is a strike to your mental health.
And don't just trying to be single going through this.
Yes.
I'm sure women who are single are struggling even more because, you're out here in this dating scene trying to, connect with somebody, and you get to that point where it's time, and it's kind of like him, like, I know it's not hard, but it don't happen like this all the time. This is regular. So it's happening like for a woman now, like, usually it doesn't dry up like this, but
and then they take it personally. Is it me? Am I not turning you on enough? What is it? And it's not a personal thing, just like we would take it personally for a man. But they have made a lot of strides for women now. We do have a pink pill. They have a blue pill. We have a pink one.
So what?
And
Tell us about the pink pill,
the
and
pink
then
pill,
also
I
tell us
want to say
about.
it's called Addy. I want to say that. I haven't used it yet or researched it much, but it's a pink pill, which should be the female version of the Viagra.
Oh, the
Don't use it.
Viagra. Okay, okay.
Don't try it. I have not tried it out yet. Usually I try to try things before I tell people about it, but I have not tried that part yet. But it's supposed to be the female version of Viagra.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing that I'm all for women's rights and women's pleasure, because we didn't have all of that before. They didn't talk about women's pleasure. It was all about the man and what the man needs to do, and if it doesn't work, he's not a man anymore. But as women, we feel the same way.
Absolutely.
So now the products are, because this little thing right here has 10,000 nerve fibers in it. 10,000
nerves.
nerve fibers. So I tell my husband, can you get on one of them? Just get on one.
Get on two.
Yeah. Not this one up here. Don't get on this nerve up here.
Please don't dance on that nerve. No.
What he say? I hear him back there in that background. What he
He
talking
said he
about?
gonna get on two.
Well, you said it was 10,000 of them. I'm gonna need you to get on 99.9.
Between now and the time Jesus called me home, we're gonna tap on all of them before we leave up out of here.
So how do you hold on. What you talking about?
I'm being fast. That's my answer.
So what are some of the things that women can do to women of a certain age? Because that's who we're talking about right now. We ain't talking about y'all little teeny boppers and y'all in y'all 20s who's getting it in all over the place.
They can learn on how to get it in. Shoot.
Yeah, they getting it in, but we ain't talking about y'all. We talking about us grown-ups that are trying to still get it in our 30s, our 40s, our 50s, 60s, 70s.
It shouldn't stop
Until I'm tired. What are things that we can do? What are
some of the things that I know that's working for, just from talking to different women, exercise is a great thing, which I have yet to do, but exercise helps you through it. It'll help you, clean up some of that brain fog. It'll get you motivated, get those endorphins, that serotonin, all of that stuff just going. So that helps when you're going through menopause. Also, like I said, just talk to your doctor. There's different things that they can prescribe to you if that's something that you want to do. They have different things. They have a ring that you can have. They have creams that you can put there that can help you with lubrication. Like I said, my go-to, I tried all the other stuff. It didn't really clear up my desire. You got to watch what medications that you're on too, because some of those things will erase your desire.
I was going to ask you, I guess if you're taking all this high blood pressure medication, all this stuff, some of that pink pill might not work.
Antidepressants, all of those things can kill your sex drive. They can, or they can delay orgasms, and so you don't want that. You don't want that. But
you need them antidepressants, so you got to decide, or you got to just work with your doctor, I'm assuming, or you could try some natural stuff. Possibly. Do you know of? I know you're not a sponsor for any natural products, but are you familiar with any natural products that women use?
I am. I have some back here. I'm ready for you. So,
she said stay hydrated. So drink a lot of water. Sue says
stay hydrated. Yeah, stay hydrated. Drink a lot of water, especially if you want to have splash town at the end too. So a lot of hydration is great for splash town. But I found I don't know if I'm backwards, but it's called Aloe Cadabra. Am I backwards?
No.
Okay, Aloe Cadabra. That's a natural aloe lube, and I found that this is good. You can get this on Amazon or at your local stores, and they have different sizes, different kinds. And this is natural, and it'll help you. Just make sure that you're safe with all your lubes. You just want to make sure that it works for you, because everybody's body is different.
Walk around here with a whole yeast infection.
Yeah. Everybody's pH levels are different, so you have to be careful. Please don't put no candy down there and all of that stuff, because all that sugar is gonna just be a straight breeding ground for it.
Exactly.
And also another one that I use is Good Clean Love, and these are natural products, and they have just different ones. So the right lubes, I help you with the right lubrication. Some of these lubes can be used with condoms. These can be used with condoms with latex. So you have to be careful with those too, because every lube is not compatible with latex.
You said those can or cannot be used with latex?
They can.
Can be used with latex. Oh yeah, that will be a problem too, right?
Yeah, this is hybrid. So this is silicone and water based, but your water based lubes are your better ones to be used with a condom.
And that, that's probably an issue too. I didn't even think about that because them condoms are dried up too.
Mm-hmm. It depends. Like I say, even I'm researching condoms now because I think Lola may be one. It's a whole bunch of condoms that I'm researching now. They may keep you having your right pH level, and then your natural lubrication will go with that. Because a lot of guys think, oh, I'm going to Trojan. I'm going to oh, she said Lola is the best one on the market. Yeah. Yeah. And it's natural. And some of them are latex free because some people are allergic to latex.
Allergic to latex.
So you have to have those conversations with your partners because you may not know. And then your body changes too, especially when we're going through our menopausal phase. We don't know. Things that didn't bother us before may bother us now.
Yeah.
You have to be careful with your UTIs. You have to be careful with all of that. Wash your toys. If you're using toys, make sure those are washed and sanitized because you're putting bad bacteria back in your vulva area because everybody thinks it's a vagina. It's not. It's a vulva.
Oh, we're not supposed to call it the vagina.
Everything on the outside right here is the vulva.
Oh, them the lips.
Everything is on the outside is the vulva. Everything is on the inside is the vagina.
You can look at us. We just call it just ghetto. Them the lips.
Yes,
I have to show this comment right here.
Okay. That's my aunt, of course. And so I told you I have aunts. So I have two of them left. So that's us. And yeah, she is 61 and still going strong. That's my aunt.
How do you feel about having these conversations with your aunties?
We talk like sisters.
Talk like sisters.
I have both of my aunts there in their 60s now. My mom passed a few years ago, so they've been by surrogate moms while I'm still on this earth.
Yeah.
And so that's who I talk to. Them and my stepmother. I don't know where she is. I try to get her on. I am not lying. Oh, she said my aunt is lying. That's her sister. We got the whole family. I'm sorry. We got the whole clan here. So they're bad to it.
She said she lying. That's her sister saying she lying.
Yes, it is. My 61-year-old.
Auntie, don't be hating on your sister. She said she's 61 and getting it in. She's still fine and alive.
She probably is. She's not lying. And Aunt Sue ain't lying either because she probably still getting it in too. She's just not telling you about her business.
She ain't saying it on here, huh? I ain't mad. I'm not mad at she ain't trying to put her business on. She's like, I don't know you like that little girl. Put my business all on the front street like that. But yeah, this is good,
Okay, I'm gonna need my family to calm down in the comments. They having too much fun.
They having a ball and I love it. I'm here for it.
That's my brother that just cutting up.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
And I'm trying to teach him too. Okay, brother, I'm talking to you now. So I'm trying to teach him too about things too as far as women. My brother is, how old are you now, brother? We're 6 years apart. So he's 48. He's 48-ish, I think.
He said, like, I don't tell you my business. I guess he wants you to talk to train him.
I tell him, he just don't want to hear. He think he knows everything, but I'm trying to help him not be, all of this he say he is.
Well, a lot of men have a lot of machismo, they feel that, they can satisfy everybody. But when a woman is going through things with her body,
it's hard.
You could have been the best thing, whatever.
And that's why, like I said before, you always have the open conversation with your partners. Even if it's a one night stand, you have your conversation with them. Say, look, this is my body. This is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm going through. And you don't have, a lot of, men don't listen. They don't. But you have a lot of men that think that, I can do this. I can make you do this. I can make you do that. We give ourselves permission to have orgasms. We give ourselves permission to have pleasure. Everything, we have a choice and a voice. That means that we do what we want to do when we want to do it. So a man can't make you do anything. We allow ourselves to have an orgasm.
How do you begin the conversation with men about, okay, I know you think you're doing your job, but baby, you're not. Like, you're missing so many spots right now. Like all of what you're doing, it ain't working. It
So
might be working for you,
mm-hmm.
you know, but this ain't working. So how do you even start having these conversations, even for single women who are dating? How do you have these conversations? I know it's probably easier when you're in a relationship with somebody. You can say whatever the hell you want to say,
Mm-hmm.
but or what, and to keep them from being so offended too, because they feel like,
Their
oh, I'm
ego is
doing
fragile.
exactly, you know, I'm doing it, it's been working all these years, you know. How do you begin these conversations?
First of all, you cannot say it's been working all these years, because my husband and I have been together for 14 years. We've been married for 8. We're not the same people we were when we met. I was almost 40. So I'm telling you now, we almost 40. Your hormones kick into overdrive, because that's when you hit that second race is on and popping but you're just not the same person. If this person is not satisfying you, um, of course, it's an ego thing. So their egos are very fragile, just like ours would be. And just let them know. Or you can do what's called pleasure mapping, body mapping.
What's pleasure mapping?
Pleasure mapping, body mapping, basically is that is no, not any penetration in the beginning, but you tell that person exactly they touch your bodies, and they start from your head all the way down to your toes. Of course, you skip the nether regions for the most part, and you can just tell them what turns you on, what feels good to you. Do you like me to rub you lightly? Do you like me to scratch, just graze you with my nails? Because all of that, it starts before you even get to that bedroom. Men's egos are sometimes fragile. They're a lot of times fragile to me.
They
But
are.
yeah, that's my other aunt. Everybody's on here. That was my husband.
Yeah.
So they can get fragile. But what you do is just leave them. When a woman is having intercourse or sexual intercourse with their partner, please stop them in the middle. And I know that sounds bad because you don't want to, but why sit there and endure? Why sit there and endure if you're not doing it? Now the way you do it, say, you know what, let's try this position. Okay, we turn over. Can you touch me right here? That'll help. And that'll help it go both ways. So their ego won't be crushed, and then you get what you need in the end. So that's why I say, you need to learn your bodies before you give your body to somebody else. You need to learn your body and what you like and what you don't like. And that changes every 90 days.
Yeah, especially when you're going through menopause. Because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like this, I back in the day, this might be TMI, but I'm telling it anyway. Back in the day, I used to love for my breasts to be touched all the time.
So, yeah.
But I had breast cancer. After I had breast cancer and went through radiation and things like that and surgery, I don't want you touching them at all. I've even heard women who've had like breast reductions and things like that had a certain sensation prior to the surgery. It was like, oh, we all for it. You touch them all day long, whatever, do what you want to do with them. But after that, the feeling changed to where it's an irritation. It's not a good feeling anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it does, your body changes.
And that happened for me too, because I wasn't that type. That was not one of my erogenous zones. But not knowing at the time, my testosterone was tanking. So now that I'm at the level where I need to be, or a little bit above, it's back. So it can all depend on your hormones too. But if that's somewhere that you don't want to be touched, or it just doesn't do it for you, just tell that to your partner. So I'm just not a breast person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't just placate them. Tell them when it isn't working. So that's true. So if it's not working, just say, you know what? Oh, this is painful. Because you have a lot of women who go through painful sex and they just, I got to satisfy my man. I'm just going to endure it. And don't do that. Don't do that. You have to let them know. So, you know what? Can we start right here and just flip the position? Or can I try this? Or can you try this? And then that should be a conversation that can be had even after pillow talk.
Yeah.
Even though most men go to sleep, but try to keep them up with some pillow talk.
Because they quit to go to sleep, right? Yeah.
I mean, it's their refractory period. They just takes everything out of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And and as women, I think we do need to kind of take some of our, not necessarily control, but our voice back when it comes to that, because it is, you do have some selfish men who only want to please themselves. They're not trying to please you as well. And they think that sex is over because, I don't, did me. Now it's over. But I'm still like, bruh, hey.
That's exactly why I'm here. to use those ways to say, you know what, it's not over till it's over with me. And some women, some guys, they have a whole bunch of things on TikTok where they have the man thing, he put in their work, and then all of a sudden he walks out the room here,
Right.
because 9 times out of 10, only about 30% of women actually orgasm vaginally. Most of it is in the clitoris.
Absolutely.
And you're not gonna just be on it like a wheels of steel either. You can't do that. You can't scratch and like you're a DJ on it. But you have to teach, you have to teach them how to touch your body and what's sensitive, because it is a very sensitive area and what's sensitive. So most men just think that, okay, I can just stick it in and I'm good. No,
And,
the
and they're taught that. They're taught
they're
that.
not taught. They're not taught.
They're not taught. Yeah, well, still in them doggone watching Pornhub all day long.
And that is so rehearsed. When it's probably a 5-hour scene to make that 1 30-second video. It's so rehearsed. And a lot of people, that's how they talk, because men don't talk to their sons about sex like that either. Yeah. They teach, wrap it up, man. If you're gonna do it, make sure she don't get pregnant.
Yeah, make sure she don't get pregnant. We ain't got time for no baby.
Yeah. We hear, oh, you know what? You have to go to the doctor, make sure you plugged up, you don't get pregnant, get some birth control pills, and make sure you love him.
Because that's what we talk, right?
So that's how that's how our hearts get connected to our cooch. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I'm teaching my girls, I know y'all want to be in love and have a boyfriend, but every man that you have sex with is not going to be your husband. It's not going to be, it's not going to be that. You're not going to be in love with them, because we have needs too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, exactly. When you get older, you want to please the woman. So why wasn't it like that when you were younger?
Player
from the Himalayas.
Little brother.
He's my big little brother.
He said he's 47. I think he said he's 47, 48.
Yeah. He was one of those ages. Mm-hmm. My aunt said, "Wake me when you're done." And see, and that doesn't that's not good. Why you want to be there following your fingernails when he think he's really putting the work?
Right.
Right. And of course, she says love makes it better. Miss Tazania says love makes it better. It does make it better.
It helps.
It helps, but that's a part of the whole relationship process, the whole marriage. Sex, affection, all of that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, the Gospel of Leslie. Thank you so much for tuning in. As long as
she's gonna write my book, so I can't wait till she finishes this.
She writes books.
Oh yeah, she's gonna write my book. She's having a book now. It's 99 Problems, Leslie. Put it up there for me. But yeah, men weren't taught just like women weren't taught, and we were, like I said, we were taught to love this person. You have to please your husband, and that's what it is. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the connection. If you were with somebody, that's a good point, John. That's my husband. We mentally, physically, and emotional. If you're connected in those ways, it makes the sex much better. It does. Yeah. It does. Yeah.
Because you care about that other person too. Like, mm-hmm.
It's not about you. Yes, it's about both of you.
Actually, I want him to be happy, and I want her to be happy. It's kind of hard to do that while you're dating. I will do that. And it's been a long time since I've had to date, but I do know people are out here trying to date. And it is kind of difficult when you're out here dating, trying to have that connection with your partner. Trying to explain to him, touch me here, touch me there. He's like, what?
And that's what you say next.
Right. Exactly.
Next. Exactly. If he's not interested in trying to please you, then what's the point of even having sex with him?
Yeah.
And I want women, especially my younger girls, and all women, you can speak up for yourself. It's okay to tell them what you want. Because we've been in the history and back in the day, oh, we're a hoe, we're promiscuous, we're doing this, or we're fornicating, we're doing all of these labels that they put on us. But it's okay to stand in the skin that you're in. If you have a healthy sexual appetite, just be safe in what you're doing. Just be safe.
I think men might get intimidated by that too, when you're telling them what you want and how you want it and things like that. Men can get intimidated by that, I think.
And then you ask them the question, so how do you know what to do to me?
He don't.
If I don't tell you, you're not gonna know.
He's going to continue to do what he's been doing with everyone else.
And we're not everyone else. Every vagina is different.
Everyone is different.
Every penis is different.
That part.
So we can't expect that person to be like everybody else. We can't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have women who have different issues or going through different things. You can't expect that.
Right.
So it's always a conversation. Everything starts with a conversation, whether it be with yourself, saying, girl, you know what? You 50 and up, you still look good.
Mm-hmm.
You still fine. You still can pull them. You still can go out there and get what you want and do what you want. You still can put on an outfit. If you're married or with your man, you still can put on your outfit and your heels and you still looking good after 50. It's okay. Yeah. And yes, pleasure is personal. So everybody's pleasure is different. And another thing that they say, we don't yuck anybody's yum. So what people think, you might be in the kink, you might be in the BDSM, you might be in whatever you into, that's you and that's your pleasure.
Yeah, that's it's a whole lot of different.
It is things. A lot of stuff out there.
It's a whole lot of different things out here that people like to do.
You would have to
even think about any of those.
In my Velvet Crown Society, that's when we can sit and talk about all of this on a bi-weekly basis. We can talk.
So are you taking new clients? So let's talk about the business. So is the business, how does the business work? I mean, what do you schedule an appointment? Is this a group thing? Is this a couples thing? Is this a girls group?
You can schedule an appointment. I have a spark session, which is like a 15-minute session to see exactly what your needs are and to see if I could be able to serve you through, you know, what I'm offering. And we'll do that. That's a 15-minute call, a 15-minute video online. And we talk about that. Once you pass through that, then you'll go to, well, I'm changing my website. So everybody's, you know, we're going through some changes on my website because I started to hone in on this women of a certain age. So once that happens, then we can have what we call a sexy solitaire session, which might change, that word might change. But once you go in there, you can book me and then you can have that one-on-one with me.
Okay.
And what, have that one-on-one.
What does a session like you look like? What are we discussing? We're just talking about.
The session is tailored to you. So whatever your needs are, well, if you are having a hard time orgasming, then we'll find those different ways to figure out how to orgasm. You will have your pleasure work at the end of it. You will have some type of pleasure work to say, you know what, we talked about these things. So when you go home tonight, these are some things that you need to do. Or when you get off with me tonight, these are what you need to do and report back to me on the next session and see if that works. If that doesn't work, we'll find something else. It's all about getting you the pleasure that you won't need, desire, and deserve. That's it.
So this is therapy.
It can be.
This is therapy. This is sex therapy.
Sex therapy is a little bit different.
Pleasure therapy. I'm sorry.
Pleasure therapy was because therapy is a little bit different because they work on those different shadows that you dealt with. They broke on those traumas. So that's why I wanted to go to the coaching field because I could be more personal in one-on-one with my clients. Yeah. I can tell them my story and say, you know what, you're not in this alone. I've been through this. We're working on this together. Even with couples, same thing. You know, I have some couples that's, my clients now, and they're working on some things together. So it's homework. You got to have that homework to do because you got to practice. You can say what you're going to do, but you got to go home and practice it.
Yeah. Yeah. This is good. I so appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you letting me come on.
And talking to my guests in your family.
Oh my God.
I love your family. I love it. So if anybody wants to reach you, how would they go about reaching you? Would it be through this website or something else?
Yes, it'll be through their website, www.pleasurecoachdiamond.com. And it'll go and have you, if you want to book a session, book a spark session, you just click on the button and you can book a session with me. And I'm on all platforms, Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, Pleasure Coach Diamond.
Pleasure Coach Diamond.
.com.
Let me see if I spelled that right.
Yep. PleasureCoachDiamond.com.
Yes.
And just look me up and book me.
Yeah. Y'all reach out, y'all book with her if you need help in this. Don't think that
pleasure advocate.
Hold on, look, and he said, "Great job, baby mama."
Thank you, real baby mama. Thank
This was
you.
amazing.
Thank
This was amazing.
you.
So do you have any like closing remarks for us? Anything we can close out with?
Only thing I'm closing out with is that, you know what, ladies, y'all are still beautiful just the way you are. It doesn't matter if you grew an extra stomach, if you got some hair on your chin, whatever. If your girls are not sitting up anymore and they're sagging, you're beautiful, period. And you deserve to be wanted, needed, and desired. And go
Absolutely.
after what you want. Menopause doesn't stop us. Being 50 doesn't stop us. Being 40 doesn't stop us. Should be the best stage and the best part of your life at this age.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. And I so appreciate that because there are a lot of us out here um, suffering in this department and don't have to.
You
You don't have
don't.
you
You
just got
don't.
to learn your body, learn what pleases your body. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know, there's someone here who can show you how to do it.
That's me. I got you. I got you.
I appreciate it.
Right.
So
Y'all
y'all,
book me.
what'd you say?
Book me.
Booker. Booker,
I
y'all.
can come. I can do. If you have a ladies' night, if you want to have a bachelorette party, if you just want to have some seminars, I can do public speaking also for those
Mhm.
things too. So I'll come out and work with you all.
And
Okay.
and keep in mind, y'all, she's moving towards this age group, but she doesn't only deal with this age group. So
Correct.
she's
Correct.
moving towards us.
Yeah.
But you don't have to watch it and say, well, I'm just 23, so no, she got you. She
I've
got
been 23 before. I can tell you
exactly.
about the years of. Oh Lord, the
You
years of
couldn't tell me
23.
nothing when I was 23. Wow.
Not a thing. Not a thing. Had my own school. Oh my God.
Boy, time when I was
Flashback.
23, so
Flashback.
let me come.
That's
Let me
when you
bring it
thought
back.
you knew what you were doing, but you really wasn't doing.
You didn't know what I was doing, right? Just out here, just wilding out for no reason. Sorry, babe.
Thinking we was getting it in, and
Just out here wilding
if
out
I
for
knew then what I know now,
no
believe
reason.
it.
All right, y'all. So you know what? I am so thankful and grateful that God has given me this vision to
Yeah.
use this platform to talk about mental health. Mental health comes in all type of forms, y'all. Be going through menopause definitely affects your mental health. So I wanted to bring somebody on to let you know that hey, you could still be sexy. You could still be you can still get some of your old drop it like it's hot ways back. You can get that thing back.
Exactly.
You don't have to suffer through this menopause thing. There are some tools out here. There's some lubricants out here that you can use. There's some pellets that you can use if you're
Yes,
interested in that.
Lord.
It's some natural things out here. She's talking about yes, Lord. It's some natural things out here. There's all kind of ways to help you get your groove back. You feel what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, but I thank God for even giving me the idea to create this platform. We talk about all types of mental health on this show. We do this every other Wednesday. So if you know anyone who would like to be a guest on the show, or if you would like to be a guest on the show, let me know because we talk about everything. You can reach me on all my social media platforms, Mission for Mental Health. I think some of them are Jackie Robinson at Mission for Mental Health. But at the end of the day, you look for Mission for Mental Health, you're going to see Jackie Robinson. So you can reach out to me on all those platforms. Excuse me, any of those platforms. If you like the book, I would love to have you. Please, y'all, if you could subscribe, like, and share. I really want this thing to grow. And the only way that it can grow is if I get you guys' help. And so if you can subscribe, like, share, make sure you hit that like button. Ding, hit the little like button.
Yep.
Ding, so you get an alert every week. And to let you know that I'm jumping back on here live because this is important. This is important to me. I think mental health is important to a lot of people. And
It
so with
is.
that being said, I always have to let people know if you are experiencing a mental health crisis, or if you know someone who is experiencing a mental health crisis, you can always text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. See, those numbers right there, you get a live person, a real person comes on. You do not
Mhm.
have to suffer at all, period. Things are growing, y'all. We are
Yes.
removing the stigma behind mental health. And so people are now able to freely go out here and get the help they need without being judged or anything like that. I mean, come on now. We just spent a whole hour talking about sex. And she
Mhm.
didn't even, what you call your baby back there in the back? What's her name?
Which
Your,
one?
the one back there behind you. What you call her? It's
Oh,
Miss what do you call her?
Madam Poussey.
Madam Poussey. We spent a whole hour talking about Madam Poussey. You see Madam Poussey. So we talk about anything. So you do not have to suffer, y'all. Please call 988 if you need some help. Look, I will have this on. The show will repeat again next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, we're going to have a great show. We're going to have a young lady on talking about suicide and suicide prevention. And she has attempted suicide multiple times. So we're going to dive deep, y'all. We probably going to be on here crying because both of us are at a certain age in our 50s where we just cry about everything.
It's hard. I'm a counselor by trade, so I totally understand that.
Yes. So, so yeah, if you all can come back on and support her, I would greatly appreciate it. But until then, do me a favor. You stand by for me while I close out the show. Don't go nowhere. You stay there. I'm going to close the show out. You guys, I appreciate you all. Thank you for giving me an hour of your time. And I will see you all not next Wednesday, but the following. So have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.